Did we not call this? Was this not something that everybody saw from the beginning? Was this not something that we all seen? Now, I don't know where I read this at. And probably everybody else read it too somewhere. I don't know if it came straight from Kishimoto or if it was like one of the people at the press conference, whatever. But I remember a couple weeks ago, somebody said, "Oh, nah, that ain't real. No, that's their children. That's their kid. That's them. They lied. They lied to the fans." Well played.
Brandino
So we're not going to talk about the ridiculousness of the end of this chapter. We're going to talk about the beginning first. Naruto Gaiden, Chapter 7, the 7th Hokage. Oh my god, can you feel the fire of the bulls? Motherfucker, I was right. Everybody was right. And somebody on the fucking shit lied. Somebody lied. They was like, yeah, no. I wasn't gonna talk about it yet. Gonna say that anyway. So Naruto chapter 707. We got to see who Shin, the many Sharingan guy, was. And we find out that he is an experiment. And that the little Shin is his experiment of the original experiment. So we find out that Shin, eyeballs all over the face Shin, is actually a clone. So we're like, well, maybe not a clone, but, you know, like, he's like matter or something created for the specific ability to be cloned or something to that extent. And we find out that all of the little Shins, which now just happen to be multiple, there was only one that we remembered. There was only one. And now there's like 5 and 6 just sitting in the room, just kind of hovering. I'm like, okay, what are they doing there? So, we see Yamato, which is kind of nice, but, you know, Yamato, I guess, is like stuck wherever he's at, so they kind of just have him there. But, and he doesn't want to get trapped again like the last time, so he's like, I can't go too far. But they have to... One, it's Shin talking to Sakura, which Sakura she's just being like all about being a parent and being a family and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, why? Like, regardless of, she's done her best to like climb up the pedestal to become like a better character. But for some reason in this chapter, like every time I read her lines or what she was saying, it just sounded whiny. It didn't even sound like she was like believing in it. If that comes off correct, believe it. But it just sounded like, you know, like somebody trying to push this idea that nobody else is seeming, which clearly in that room nobody else really cared, but, you know, or maybe the little Shins cared because they don't understand life, but the big one was like, it's just procreation. That's literally what we're here for. If we did not pick the strongest, we would not be as strong as we are now. Which sometimes pushes the question of, why are people stupid now? Anyway. But, so he goes about and he tells about all of this different stuff about, you know, reproduction and how genes are just basically just meant to be passed on. Cells die. We cheat death by having children because our children are us, or portions of us, living through another lifespan. Where death is supposed to kill us off completely, we keep cheating it by having children. So clones are basically the same thing. It's just an exact replica of one person instead of a split personality between two that merges into a newer form. But we go through and goes through the chapters, and then we see that they have to infiltrate a facility to kind of get Sakura back because they don't know where she's at. So they're like, well, best bet is that they're probably here. So Sasuke, which I didn't even know before until I saw that little like camera up there. They have like little cameras now. But Sasuke had to infiltrate one of the old Akatsuki bases. And we get to see Jugo and Suigetsu again. So we're like, oh, okay. So I guess this is where they're at. So then they're like, okay. They're talking to them. And Naruto's like, oh, I thought you knew your way around, Sasuke. What are you doing? And he's like, just follow me. And then all of a sudden, Orochimaru's back. So now I was told by one of my friends, I was told like, read the chapter and do the review. And I'm like, okay, is he probably hyping it up? And I was reading it, and like as I'm slowly going through the chapter, like nothing was really building until I saw Orochimaru, where I was like, all right, this is starting to catch a little fire here. It's starting to spark my interest. And Orochimaru sitting there breaking down little things here and there, and then he's like, oh wow, look at that little munchkin Sasuke back there. And then freaking Choza, she's, I don't know what is with her running joke without, I guess, being like she doesn't accept her own parents. So she's just like, oh, this guy was my parent. Would he be my mom or my dad? I can't tell. He's so genderless and creepy. Which Orochimaru was always like that, but So she's goofing about that, but Sarada decides to blurt out because she's just sitting there like boiling under the pressure. So she decides to blurt out after Orochimaru's talking about like how the clones were created and everything. And she was like, could that be the same for real parents and children? And then like Sasuke looks back with the look like, yo, why are you crying so much? Like, stop. And then Naruto's like sitting there like, but then like so then they're going through, because I guess they needed Orochimaru to kind of tell them the full extent of the plan, and so that they could figure out where Sakura's at and try to shut this thing down before it gets any worse. My window's open because my room is hot, so thanks, truck. Anyway, so then as the chapter progresses, we see that I'm kind of like spark noting this. We see that Salada she's just really not happy with the whole situation, because she finally gets to meet her father, but she wants to know who her mother is. And now that she sees 2 of the 3 people that were in that photo, she wants to know, who is this third person? Who is this lady that shares the same glasses? And which when I heard, I don't know if somebody told me, because I don't think I read it. I think somebody told me. When I heard that they said that, oh yeah, Sakura is her mother. You like how I'm getting some forebodings. I thought to myself, I was like, but if you think about it, Sakura and Karen had similar personality types. So, I mean, even though, yes, she could, play it off as, they're one and the same, but they're similar. They're extremely similar in personality wise, but the only difference is that Sakura has an understanding of medical ninjutsu and then a crazy good genjutsu like deciphering ability, where Karen was an Uzumaki, so she had healing abilities and stuff like this. So Salada pulls Suigetsu back, and she's like, okay, who the hell is this person? And she like has the picture on her. She's like, who is this person right here? Who is this? So then Suigetsu was like, oh yeah, that's Karen, but she's not here. And then she was like, well, I don't think that my mom's my mom, so tell me the truth. I need some type of way to be able to tell. And then, like, he's like, all right, well, let's see if we got this. And then it, like, flashes back to where Karen was telling Suigetsu, like, the get out of my lab kind of thing. And, of course, he knows where everything's at because he's always in there. But, like, you can see, even when she had her long hair and it wasn't, like, that weird, like, spike cut, you could see she looks like Sarada. They look alike. So it's like, after he gets out the test. Now, this could be just a plot thing to throw us off, and she still could be Sakura's daughter. because it is what you call them's test. So it is her machine. So if anything, she probably used something on there or something. So it could just be that. But we'll say safe to say that in the in the event of 12-year-old Salada Uchiha, Sakura, you are not the mother! What? I was hyping this up last time and I was like, come on, you know, and then like, it was so aggravating because when I heard somebody tell me like, oh yeah, no, they said that Sakura is the mother, so I'm like, I guess I'll take that because, you know, I don't really have anything to go off of. But their personalities, I knew from once they did that little is it the truth? I knew it because Sakura and Karen have similar personalities. They both are like very brash, and then when it comes to Sasuke, their whole mood changes. Because for some reason Sasuke has some allure, which I don't know if actual girls would fall for this crap, but he has some type of allure because he's so mysterious and so standoffish that these like girls who have some serious kind of power just like die because of him, because they want him so bad. So, but still, the personality, the brashness, the inner ego thing where they're like blowing up about dumb stuff, it's like you see that and you're like, the parallels are right there. And the only thing that separates them is the fact that Salada wears glasses. Now, that could not also be a main reason too, because remember, Obito needed his goggles. He always wore goggles because, you know, his eyes weren't fully developed, so he needed something to help him see because he was kind of blind. And that's kind of like an Uchiha thing anyway, because before their Sharingan develops, you know, their eyes are a little weak, so it would seem like they would need to wear glasses if they weren't like strong enough. Like I would think most of them are usually not needed, but sometimes they would need it if they, you know, whatever, because that's the only thing I can go off of. And, right before they met Orochimaru, I thought they were meeting Toby. I was like, no, Obito did not live. Because it was like, it had the back and it had that kind of like band that Toby wore for his like mask. And I'm like, is this really going to be the villain again, Toby? But nor here nor there. This chapter, it just reaffirmed what I said in the first video. It reaffirmed it. I mean, like, come on, you know, there's nothing you can tell me. Kishimoto could come to my fucking door today and be like, oh, nah, this is the actual script. Lay it on the table. Here is the paper that says Sakura is the biological mother. You are a lie. You are a lie. Now be stuck. But, I just want to say I knew it. Everybody knew it. I mean, it wasn't even that like well hidden. If anything, I mean, if he took a little bit more time to do it, like, oh, their relationship was just strained, and Sakura was just not telling her about her father, and, you know, blah blah blah, something like that. But like, as soon as, and then this could be a trap. This could be a trap. This could just be like, oh, Kishimoto's doing this on purpose to try to get us to like, who's Sakura's mom? Who could it be? Karen? Could it be Sakura? Who's the mom? This could just be like a trap. But if what it's seeming like mostly is that Sakura, and then that's the thing. Actually, that's the thing that kind of solidified it too. Like at the very end of the chapter. Of course, if you haven't read this, I already spoiled everything. So I mean, like, you know, if you're at this point in the video and you're like, well, don't tell us the end of the chapter, it's done. You already know. But at the end of the chapter, it was like Naruto was like, Sugetsu, what the? Come on, man. She wasn't supposed to. I didn't even know that. I didn't know. And Sasuke's still a dick since like we were kids, but he's always gonna be a dick. But like, you shouldn't have told her that. You was meddling, man. And so it was like, okay. I'm out. And he just kind of dances off, and then as soon as Naruto comes in the room, he's like, Salada, hey, yeah, we're getting ready to go. So if you wanna, maybe grab some snacks or something, and then like Salada's like sitting back there, and she's all distraught, but she's like, she can automatically sense the mood of the room, and she's like, he's got that same sense like Sakura, like my mom, so I know he's lying. And then she like turns around and like, you're a liar, Hokage. The seventh's a liar. Everybody's a liar. I knew nothing. Oh. Salada Snow. So if you liked the chapter review and you want to see more videos, please comment and subscribe. If you also knew from the jump that Sarada was probably Karen's daughter, that Sakura probably took care of because she had to find some reason to get Sasuke to marry her, please like and subscribe. If you knew that in the long run this was probably gonna be something that would happen sooner or later, and that Sarada is probably gonna pull a Sasuke and try to hang out with Orochimaru to try to figure out the truth, like, comment, and subscribe, because I'm having the strongest sensation that she might try to pull a sauce. She might pull a sauce. I'm gonna call it. She's suspect, so I'm gonna call it suspect. She's pulling a sauce. She might, cause she had that look. Like, that look of, like, intrigue where she's like, maybe this guy, even though he's a fucking sleaze, maybe he's got the answers. And just like how Sasuke did when he left, after he found the information he needed to know, he left them too. But, if Salada pulls a Sasuke, then the whole series is going to start over, and it's going to be Boruto, the fight for Salada's heart. Let me stop. But anyway, comment, like, and subscribe. Please tell me y'all freaked out too. Actually, I freaked out because I was mad that I had previous knowledge that this was not the case. So either he's throwing us for flip-flops, or I don't know. So all I have to say is, don't let the fact that we knew from the beginning that that wasn't her motherfucking daughter get you down, because the dawn always rises on a new day. Brandino!